Yeah.
So as a business today, the question would be, would you rather accept cash, and have no visibility and probably have to go
Yeah, for
justify that at
sure.
the bank
Mm,
to get a loan? Or would you accept digitally,
yeah.
accumulate a good credit scoring
Yeah.
that would allow these operators to, give you capital, with the trust that you transact well, you accept well, and based off of your transactions, this is the amount of money that you can get to enhance your business. So like I said, it's a question of value, and when the value proposition is properly presented to both the consumer
Yeah.
and the business, there's enough grounds for them to pay digitally and accept, of course, digitally.
Bienvenue dans ce nouveau numéro de Mobile Money 101, le Talk, l'émission qui réunit les professionnels et experts du mobile money et des fintech pour débattre des problématiques du secteur. Aujourd'hui, la question à laquelle nous allons répondre est la suivante. Comment les services financiers mobiles ont révolutionné le paiement en Afrique? Et pour cela, nous recevons un invité expert très spécial, Monsieur Arnold 𝗚𝘂𝗀𝘁, qui nous vient tout droit du Cameroun. Aujourd'hui, l'émission se fera en anglais. For our English-speaking audience, Mobile Money 101, The Talk is a talk show that is gathering professionals, experts from fintech in order to have inspiring talks on the subjects and specific problematic in this domain. So as I was introducing today, we are welcoming a very special guest, Arnold. Welcome to Côte d'Ivoire.
Thank you very much,
Yes,
Paul.
how are you doing?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Great
I'm
thing.
hyped. Yeah. I mean, it's always wonderful to be in Abidjan. So, yeah, I'm
Yes.
happy.
Oh, thank you. We are also very happy to have you around because you are coming from Cameroon. So this is a real great honor that we are having today with you. Thank you so much.
The pleasure is all mine. I mean, Abidjan is a great city. It's my
Yeah.
second time in Cote d'Ivoire, but yeah,
Yeah.
I've enjoyed this time more because I got to visit 𝗛𝘂𝗀𝘁 as well. So
Yeah.
I've had a wonderful time in Abidjan so far, and yeah, it's going well.
Yes. So, as a job today, you are a manager in charge of developing products, mobile financial services, and you are working in one of the biggest fintech in Africa today. So, what is your experience in Côte d'Ivoire of mobile financial services?
Yeah, I mean, I've been able to see that, there's always an element of digital in the day-to-day use cases of the Ivorians, from, just boarding a Yango,
Yeah.
you can pay
Yeah.
digitally. Walking into a restaurant, you can pay digitally. You can also pay digitally even at the clubs and so on. So it's
Yeah.
very wonderful. I've really had a good appreciation of, how digital acceptance really works here. And I think, yeah, it's a testament to what the future holds, to digital acceptance and
Yeah.
also the growth of digital financial services here in Cote d'Ivoire. So it's a really wonderful thing to see. I'm happy that, more and more consumers are beginning to see the need to pay digitally, to accept digital financial solutions. And even, on the merchant and agent side, you see a lot of businesses who are now, moving away from cash to more of digital. So I like the experience.
Yes, great thing. So we're gonna go deeper on this subject, but first, it would be very interesting for us and also for our audience to have more information about who is Arnold 𝗚𝘂𝗀𝘁.
Thank you. Thank you. So like you mentioned, I'm a product development manager, payment product development manager for one of the biggest fintechs in Africa. I work for the group at
Yeah.
that fintech, so I cater for about 16 markets in Africa. And it's basically developing payment solutions that
Yeah.
are disruptive
Yeah.
and that are able to change the day-to-day lives of Africans. The whole objective is to make Africa great again.
Yeah.
So I'm also a project manager and Scrum master.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of
Great
experience
thing.
yeah. So I have a lot of experience in driving projects, but also digital and technical projects. And also, I have a thing for customer experience management. So I'm a professional customer experience management professional.
Yeah.
And that really also helps me, when it comes to developing user-friendly products and services that need to go out there to consumers. So that's a little thing about me. I'm also a very dynamic, hyped, chill young man. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's Arnold for you. And yeah, it's also wonderful to be here. Thank you, Paul.
Oh, yeah, you've got a very outstanding career path, and congratulations for that.
Thank
Uh,
you.
and you talked about disruptive solutions, and this is very interesting because today, when we talk about disrupting solutions, we are necessarily talking about innovation.
Exactly.
And talking about innovation, in Ivory Coast here, for example, we had the first mobile money services was released in 2007, and it
Yeah.
all started with basic services such as cash in, cash out, and transfers. And over the years, we saw that we had more and more solutions that were developed. We are talking about advanced services, Fintech, insurtech, and so on. So, what is your perspective on that, and what is the context of this evolution?
Yeah, so I mean, like you mentioned, in Africa, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, mobile financial services really kicked off around 2007. So we
Mm,
have, I think, well over 15 years of, mobile financial services really growing in the different markets here in Africa, both East and sub-Saharan Africa, to be precise. And I mean, over the years, like you mentioned, we started with the basic services.
yeah,
Most of the operators were dealing more with P2P transfers
yeah,
and withdrawing from accounts, so cash out.
mm,
But over the years, the value proposition has been able to grow,
yeah,
and this is also based on some of the use cases that really speak to the African market. Use cases like remittances, for instance.
mm,
We have a lot of diasporans who have to send money back home,
yeah,
and so with mobile financial service operators, enabling advanced services like remittance,
yeah,
from the comfort of your home, you can receive money from your relatives abroad.
yeah,
Also insure tech, where, as a consumer or as a business, you're able to insure your business. You can register for life insurance, you
mm,
can register for health insurance and things like that. There's also the bank tech aspect of it,
yeah,
where, from the comfort of your home, you can contract a loan without
mm,
necessarily going through the hassle of the bureaucratic processes at most of the banks.
mm,
You can sit in your house, and
yeah,
get a loan.
yeah,
And for businesses, you can get capital for your business,
yeah,
from the comfort of your home. And I think these are really advanced services that are driving, the entire value proposition that is being pushed by most of our mobile financial service operators when it comes to fintech. So we've come a very long way,
yeah,
since 2007. And today in 2024,
yeah,
we have full-fledged fintech providers that are able to provide a consolidated value proposition to all the different stakeholders within the ecosystem, be it consumers, be it businesses, or be it
mm,
agents. And yeah, I think there's a lot that has been done, but there's still a lot that needs to be done, in the future, just to ensure that
mm,
we move to a fully digitized economy where
yeah.
we can reap the full benefits of it.
Yeah, sure. And as the topic today is how mobile financial services have revolutionized payment, what could you share about payment if we would like to have more information on how it did grow through the years?
Yeah, so I mean, for payments before, I would say the first use case of payment was trade by barter,
Yeah.
right? Where if I have salt and you have sugar,
Mm,
yeah, I give you the quantity of salt,
mm,
that is equivalent to the quantity of sugar that I need.
yeah.
But over the years we've grown to more of cash,
Yeah.
and today we're speaking digital payments. And really around digital payments, we have both C2B use cases, so consumer to businesses,
Yeah.
and B2B use cases as well.
Yeah.
So initially, there was a lot of focus around C2B use cases. So consumers being able to pay their basic utility bills,
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
comfort of your home. You can pay your electricity bill, you can pay your TV
Mm-hmm.
bill, you can pay your water bill, and so on. As a consumer as well, you can walk into a business
Yeah.
and pay digitally. You can go on an online site
Yeah.
and pay digitally. So these are all use cases that are really catered for the C2B part of things. But you also, on the B2B side,
Yeah.
more and more businesses are being enabled today to pay other businesses
Yeah.
digitally. And this also speaks to the digitalization of the entire value chain, especially for like the FMCG sector,
Yeah.
where, you know, as a retailer, I want to be able to pay my supplier, who is probably a wholesaler, who has to pay his distributor,
Yeah.
who has to then pay the producer, and so on. So there's a lot of these use cases today, you know, that have been able, you know, to really show the benefits
Yeah.
of payments, you know,
Yeah.
and how digitally driving these payments, you know, there can be a lot of, you know, benefits that can be reaped from
Yeah.
it. So today we also have things like card payments,
Yeah.
where, you know, as a consumer or as a business, you can, you know, swipe your card, or you
Mm-hmm.
can put in your card on a particular, your card details on a particular platform, and you're able to and a business is able to receive that money directly into
Yeah.
their mobile money account. There's also interoperability,
Yeah.
where, you know, be you an operator or a consumer of operator A, you can pay a business
Yes.
of operator B. You
Yes.
know, so these are
Yes.
all you know, digital payment solutions that have really been enabled, not just, you know, by the mobile financial service operators themselves, but also with a lot of support from the regulators. I think in the CEMAC region, you have interoperability really being driven by the
Mm.
regulator
Yeah.
themselves. I think in West Africa we have BCAO, where
Yes.
they're
Yes.
driving most of this interoperability. So I think there's a lot of focus around how we can enable digital payments,
Mm.
and these are some of these use cases in place today, you know, that really help to show how we've evolved from trade by barter to,
Yeah.
you know, currently being able to serve businesses and consumers across the globe.
Yeah, this is a very great point you introduced with businesses and so on. You know, in Ivory Coast over there, you certainly saw QR codes and so on. So
Yeah.
yes, we are. Um, I mean, we are trying to promote and develop merchant payment through QR code payment and also mobile apps and so on. But today, what are the advantages for end users? To adopt this cashless payment when they go to merchants, and what are the advantages for merchants to accept digital payments?
Yeah, you know, I mean, for me, it's always a question of value. You
Mm,
know, as a consumer today, why would I think the key question they ask themselves, you
yeah.
know, is why would I have 5,000 francs cash and not pay, you know, with cash, and
Mm,
instead pay digitally,
yeah.
right? What extra value do I get from that? And
Yeah.
I think some of the responses to these are things like loyalty,
Yeah.
you know, where, you know, as a consumer, most of the operators are now saying, okay, if you can make a payment, you know, you're able to accumulate points that enable you, you know, to make more payments or to benefit from more services, you know.
Yeah.
So you really see the extra value of, you know, not paying cash but paying digitally, because there's something that you can get at the back. Also for businesses, I think the point on loyalty is also valid for businesses,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, where they are able to see that, okay, no, rather than accepting cash, you know, let me accept digitally, accumulate particular points that can
Yeah.
enable me get probably price cuts from the operators,
Yeah.
but also enable me give discounts to my consumers, and so
Yeah.
on and so forth. So it's a question of value,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that today, even around the consolidated value proposition that we give to the consumer when it comes to
Yeah.
payments, you know, is around saying, okay, don't pay with cash, pay digitally, because when you pay digitally, you can even have more visibility on your spend,
Yeah.
right? So you have your disposable income today, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you would not pay with, if you pay with cash, you
Mm-hmm.
know, you may not have enough visibility on the way you spend today, you know. But if
Yeah.
you pay
Yeah.
digitally, you probably have insights on saying, okay, in a month I spend 5,000 on electricity, I spend 3,000 on water, I spend 10,000 on TV, you know, I commute across town by with approximately 15,000 francs a month. You
Yeah.
know, that visibility month on month enables you to plan better, you
Yeah.
know, enables you to live a more informed life when it comes to your financial health. And
Yeah.
also for businesses, you know, the added value is really around things like credit scoring. So
Yeah.
most of these mobile financial service operators are currently giving loans, you know,
Mm.
and they are enabling businesses to benefit from a lot more, especially with getting capital. You know,
Yeah.
so as a business today, you know, the question would be, would you rather accept cash, you know, and have no visibility, or and probably have to go
Yeah, for
justify that at
sure.
the bank
Mm.
to get a loan, or would you accept digitally,
Yeah.
accumulate a good credit scoring
Yeah.
that would allow these operators to, you know, give you capital, with the trust that you transact well, you accept well, and based off of your transactions, this is the amount of money that you can get to enhance your business. So like I said, it's a question of value. And when the value proposition is properly presented to both the consumer and the business, there's enough grounds for them to pay digitally and accept, of course, digitally.
Oh, yes, that's a great contribution. And for business, I think also that there is another aspect that is important. It is about, managing funds and money more easily. For example, we have bulk payments to dispatch money to many people at the same time, or we have cash collect services and so on to collect money from any part of the country and so on. And do you think that also security could be considered as an argument for using cashless payments?
Definitely. I think it's one of the primary points as well. Because as a business, the cost of cash, like I mentioned earlier, today is really high. If I have to keep, especially for businesses that work with volumes and value, right? If I have to keep 5 million, 10 million, 20 million francs in my business premises, I need to ensure that I probably have a security guard. I have a good safe. I have trusted employees. There's a lot of ambiguity around that. But when you accept digitally, there's a lot of security for that money, and it's easy because most of these mobile financial service providers even give you the opportunity to push directly to the bank. So at the end of the day, you collect and you're able to liquidate directly to the bank. With very little hassle around security. You're not scared that someone's going to break into your business and steal that money. And I think just about a week ago in Cameroon, we had an experience where a business in the business, the sales agent was seated. Two guys came in, tried to buy. Well, they pretended like they wanted to buy. That was around the evening, and they took out a gun.
Oh my God!
She was harassed, and all the money was taken. Right. So considering that they accept digitally in that use case, probably by that evening she's already liquidated the money to the bank. So at the end of the day, you won't. There's nothing that they can take. So these are some of the benefits that digital acceptance brings, especially to businesses. That I think security is a very, very important point for them.
And as we are talking about security as well, there is maybe another side of things to be considered. For example, in Ivory Coast, 3 years ago, there were around like 700 million that were reported as losses directly linked to scams and on mobile money, via mobile money. So there is also this question of social engineering that is being very, important. What is your perspective on that?
They say you can't eat an omelet without breaking it. So there's a lot of these scams, especially within sub-Saharan Africa, where you're coerced or you're tricked into losing money or sending money erroneously and things like that. They're very prevalent. This is a challenge that most of the mobile financial service operators have acknowledged. To say, okay, how do we manage the aspect of social engineering, because it really has very little to do with the internal security, but more of the education and the mindset that consumers and businesses have when it comes to managing their digital wallets and managing their accounts. So I think one of the great things that they're currently doing, and I see it with most of the operators, is around education. So customer education, you need to keep your PIN secret. You need to ensure that when you're approving transactions, you're in a safe zone. Your approval is hidden so that no other person sees it. You don't approve unsolicited debit requests where you just sit and someone is trying to withdraw money from your account. They're educated more and more to say you need to be very much aware of that particular situation before you put in your PIN. I think that is going to go a long way to curb some of this social engineering. But I think also internally, there's a lot of solutions that are being put in place, to ensure that consumers are safe. Some of these transactions are even tracked well ahead of time, with the likes of with new developments like artificial intelligence and so on. It's now easy to track some of these transactions and some of these social engineering acts, and stop them before the prevention side of things, where you need to educate the customer and so on. So there's a lot that is being done today to curb that social engineering and also the scams that we have today. But there's a long way that we still need to go in,
for
educating
sure.
the customer, and also ensuring that they're very much aware of how they can keep their account safe, and how they can leverage of the benefits of that.
Yes, and as mobile financial services are mostly using applications and so on, I heard that there are some operators that are using biometric login and so on, or OTP, so on, to reinforce the security for end users.
Yeah, a lot of tokenization, like even for card payments, you need to go through 3D Secure and so on. So at least there's some level of security, where the consumer is now aware that, yes, I mean, someone is probably trying to get into my account, or I'm not approving these transactions because I don't know about it and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot that is being done, and things like that are really a very long way to stop and curb the social engineering that we have.
Yeah, so this is the opportunity for us to make sensitization on scam and social engineering. Please, if you receive a call from someone that says that he just sent money and you need to send the money back, please don't. Hang up the call. Don't answer, and please call your operator call center to have support and to reinforce security for your wallet. Another question, I would be very curious to have your perspective on the future of fintech in Africa.
Really, that's a very interesting question, because we've come a very long way. I think globally, Africa contributes over 50% of the fee of mobile money, across the world, So especially in sub-Saharan Africa, I think globally we have about 432 million active accounts. And sub-Saharan Africa alone has about 232 million of those accounts. So over 50% of the active mobile money accounts across the world, are in sub-Saharan Africa. So I think there's a lot that is being done currently, and even around your payments, I think we're able to grow digital payment acceptance has been able to grow between 2022 and 2023 by about 14%. And that's about $74 billion, just in a year. And it just speaks to, the impact that
definitely
fintech has in Africa, even to the gross domestic product of most of the countries. Fintech is contributing to about 1.5% of their GDP today. So there's a long way that we need to go, to achieve actualization when it comes to fintech. But today there's a lot that is currently happening. In the future, what I see is very exponential growth around the advanced services, and really how they come together. So how remittances enable payment. So if I receive money from abroad, I don't need to withdraw the money. I can use that same money to pay at my local stores, to pay my Yango. Based on those transactions, I'm able now to qualify for a loan. That speaks to the bank tech side of things. I can save the money. That still speaks to the bank tech side of things. Based of that, I can subscribe for an insurance service, and get my health insurance that will cater for my health, reduce the cost that I'll spend when it comes to health. Based of that as well, I'm able to pay internationally as well, with card issuance coming up. I think MasterCard has really been able to go a long way, trying to drive card acceptance and issuance across Africa. So with use cases like that, when I receive money or when I have money in my wallet, I'm able to subscribe for things like Netflix, things like Amazon Prime, Spotify, and so on. So I really see in the future a more connected digital economy when it comes to financial services. I see a huge breach of the digital divide today. So more and more consumers and businesses are really going to be digital friendly.
Yeah.
And I also see a lot of growth when it comes to the understanding of financial management,
Mm.
you know, in our day-to-day lives, in our economy in general. So I think we'll get to a point where probably by 2027, 2028, our mothers who sell tomatoes in the market are
Yeah.
able to sit in the market and say, oh no, you must scan my QR code
Yeah.
and pay,
Yeah.
or I need to subscribe for this service and I
Yeah.
know how to do it. Oh no, I must probably use my fingerprint to log into the application,
Yeah.
and things like that. So I see a more connected economy. I see a more digital friendly economy in the coming years, and I see a lot of use cases also. There's this crypto,
Yeah. Also,
I
yeah. That's a
see I
great
see
point.
it
Yeah.
coming, and
Mm.
and blockchain in general. So I
Yeah.
see a lot of benefits that it may bring. I also see artificial intelligence enabling
Yes.
most of these fintech
For
services,
sure.
especially around the
Mm.
security aspects. So yeah, the future is pregnant.
Yeah.
That's what I can tell you when it comes to digital payments and
Yeah.
mobile financial services in general.
Oh yeah, you brought so important and relevant contribution to this question. And also, you talked about card payments, and there are many partnerships that are being made between card providers and mobile money providers and so on. And yeah, there is also a great opportunity. I mean, from professional perspective, I mean, people need to be aware that we are going to ask for more and more skills,
Exactly.
yes, related to fintech, finance, digital finance, and so on, even BI and so on.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, with the coming of some of these card associations, I think it's opening up Africa to the global economy.
Yeah.
So for the longest time we've had a lot of closed loop integrations, closed loop implementations where, as a mobile money operator of this particular
Mm.
MNO, I cannot, send money to this
Yeah.
other guy or pay this other guy and so on. But with the cloud economy coming in, it's opening us up to the entire world,
Yeah,
sitting at the comfort of your home and paying for
definitely.
your
Yeah.
Netflix,
Mm.
or, be you being a merchant and, someone, or I mean, a merchant at 𝗚𝘂𝗲𝘁
Yeah.
today, will be able to sit and someone from the United States of America comes with their card and it's like, no, scan my QR code and pay.
Mm.
You can pay with your card. I'm still going to get settled in my Momo account. So I mean, there's a lot around some of these partnerships and the skills that are necessary for that. So I think more and more professionals would need to upskill
Yeah,
when it comes to some of these things, just to ensure
definitely.
that they can
Mm.
leverage the opportunities that come with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, let's make Africa great again, and let's make it, with our African skills and talents.
Yeah, it's a great thing. That's a great sentence to achieve this talk show. So we are already at the end of this episode. We were so happy to have you around, Arnold. Thank you
Pleasure's all
again. It was
mine.
so great to have you as a guest, and you gave such relevant contribution to this subject. So Arnold is a product development manager for mobile financial services, is working for one of the biggest fintech in Africa, and he answered the question, how have digital financial services revolutionized payment in Africa? In a nutshell, please retain that mobile financial services are offering more than just sending money or receiving money. Today, you can make digital payments, and there are many benefits around that. For example, visibility around your payments, a better experience, and security. I am Paule Emmanuelle ASSI, your fintech expert and career coach, and of course, your host for Mobile Money 101 The Talk. Please subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.